my name is Miss Perdue, and I'm going to be helping you out with the all-county 7th grade flute music. Today we're going to be starting with the Unison band piece. Now there's a couple of elements that happen with this piece. Number one, your key signature and your time signature. We have 3 flats, B flat, E flat, keep this first finger up for E flat, and A flat. And we're in the time signature of 2/4, which means 2 beats per measure, and the quarter note gets the beat. Now, the first thing that we need to look at, obviously, is this pickup note. Pickup notes happen before the music starts. Whatever is placed as a pickup note in the beginning of the music is taken away from the last measure. So if you look at the last measure, you'll see that it's just an 1/8 note and a quarter note. That doesn't make 2 full beats. That other half of a beat is right there at the beginning in your pickup note. Okay? So when trying to come in on your pickup note, all you need to think is 1 and 2 and 1. 1 and 2 and 1. Okay? Now, the next thing that we need to look at are these dotted rhythms. They are everywhere throughout this piece. Starting in measure 2, we have a dotted quarter note. Now, there are a couple of different ways to go about dotted quarter notes, but I like to think of the smaller note inside of them. So I don't think of dotted quarter notes as 1.5 beats. I think of them as 3/8 notes. And when I'm practicing, I reflect that by pulsing my 8 notes so I know where to come off of the note of. So in measure 2, I would play that measure such as then when I feel comfortable and I know how long I hold that note for and I've got 1 and 2 and 1 running through my head, I'll take them out. That's a really simple thing to add into your practicing while you're trying to learn this piece if you feel like you're not holding those notes long enough. This is also a great practice technique if you are practicing with a friend. They can do the pulsing for you while you hold the note. And then when you feel comfortable with that, you guys switch. Okay? Once you are finished with that, we're going to move on to measure 5. We have another dotted note, but this time it's a dotted 1/8 note. Now, like with the dotted quarter note, I like to think what is inside of that dotted 1/8 note. This time it's not 3/8 notes. This time it would be 3/16 notes. So if you were to count and clap that rhythm, it'd be 1 and a 2 and 1 and a 2 and. Okay? Now, you can also do the pulses for the dotted 1/8 notes as well. Grab your practice pal and say, hey, please play the subdivisions for me so I can see if I'm holding this long enough. If you look at measure 5 and 6, that's what I'm going to do. Oh, let me turn this down. Okay, I'll show you again how that works. Once you feel comfortable with that, take those pulses out and hold the notes for the written value. This is a technique that you can use throughout this entire piece anytime you see the dotted 1/8 note or the dotted quarter notes. Now, moving on after the bar line, this is when style really comes into play. Lots of staccatos, a legato thrown in there, some accented notes. So your articulations are very important in setting you apart from the person or the people who are auditioning before you. Now, we know that staccato means light, separated, bouncy, but a lot of people get staccato and accented really mixed up because they think that they're the same thing. In reality, they're not. What I like to think of with staccato is that you are flicking. Flick, flick, flick. When I like to think of for accents is punch, punch, punch. So they're a little bit heavier. Flick versus punch. Flick, punch. So please think about those things when you are trying to figure out your styles for this piece. Also, we have a legato line over top of the B flat, which is in, if you look on the second line of your music in the last measure on beat 1, that B flat has a legato over top of it. That means that needs to be held out nice and long, and it needs to be smooth and connected and held for its full value. So if you are putting all of these things in, that's definitely going to up your audition a little bit more. The last thing that we need to talk about is your dynamics. There are tons of dynamics written in this piece. You start out mezzo forte, medium loud, and then you move to mezzo piano, medium soft. So there definitely needs to be a dynamic change there. Right before you have the double bar line in the middle of line 2, you will see a crescendo. That crescendo goes all the way from mezzo piano to forte. So that definitely has to be there. And then when you come in on forte, make sure you are using lots of good, strong air. We go back to mezzo piano not too long after that, and we end forte. So let's give this a try. Whenever I start playing a new piece, I never play it at tempo. There's no use. Slow it down. I've got my metronome right now on 86, and that's pretty comfortable. As you start getting more comfortable with the piece, then you can speed it up. Okay? 1 and 2. And then you can work on starting to speed it up. I'll play this for you guys at tempo now. 104. Good luck on your audition. I hope it goes great. Please find a way to reach out to me if you would like any more help on your all-county music. Good luck.